Hey there, this is David with the site again, and today we're going to be talking about digital transformation, small company version. We did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about what digital transformation means to the larger companies, the small, medium companies. Today is your turn. Now, why is digital transformation important? Why are we talking about it? As we are getting out of the COVID lockdown and moving towards recovery, you're going to be hearing about digital transformation more and more. Companies that have done well during the lockdown and doing well into the recovery are the ones who've already invested in digital transformation in some type of manner. And you're going to be hearing a lot of advice coming from a lot of different directions about you need to digitally transform. Podcasts, magazines, online articles, everyone's going to be telling you you need to digitally transform your company if you want to thrive and succeed. But what is digital transformation? Well, I'm going to read a definition of it that I found online, and all the definitions I have seen sound a lot like this: the integration of digital technology into all areas of business, resulting in fundamental changes to how businesses operate and how they deliver value to customers. Okay, that's good. But what exactly does that mean? To me, it doesn't mean much. We're just sticking at 35,000 feet. We need to know a little bit more about what do we need to do where the rubber meets the road. What actual things can I do for my company that actually transform it digitally? And we're going to be getting into that today. So, who am I? Why should you listen to any of this? My name is David Moise. I'm founder of Decide Consulting. We're a Houston, Texas-based IT staffing and recruiting company. Why do you want to listen to a recruiter? Not just a recruiter. I'm a software developer. In fact, I've spent a lot more time doing software development than anything else in my career. It makes us different in terms of recruiting, gives us a different point of view on the technology that helps out our clients. And I have done a lot of the things that we're talking about in this video and in the large company video. So I've been there, done that, and we can help you out. So our target audience today is people who are trying to understand digital transformation from a small company perspective, targeting this at the business owners and executives who are trying to make decisions about what should we invest money in. I'm not necessarily talking to people on the technology side. It's not going to be deep enough for them. Talking to the people who need to make decisions about what do we need to invest in. Now, just to recap, we did a video for digital transformation for large companies, and we talked about things like agile DevOps, data analytics. This does not necessarily apply to those smaller and medium-sized companies. So if you're interested in some of these, go look at the other video, but today we're going to get into some other things. Now, before we go too far, when we're talking about small companies and digital transformation, there's a concept that we have to get across. Every company is a software company. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Let's imagine that we have two local restaurants. They both serve fresh food. They keep the restaurants clean. They're in the same neighborhoods, good enough traffic driving by each one of them. Traditionally speaking, each one of these companies or each one of these restaurants is going to do well. If you do that in a restaurant, you're going to be okay. But let's imagine one of these companies spends more time monitoring and going after more Yelp or Google reviews. One of them has actually got more active social media and is courting followers on their social media. One of them takes online ordering. One of them coordinates that online ordering with the pickup of that, and especially during the COVID crisis, we can see how that matters. And then let's say one of them has coordinated with multiple delivery services. These are all software-oriented tasks. Now, we're not talking about turning a chef into a programmer, but we're talking about management that needs to understand how to use technology, how to use different software in order to make their business thrive. And we can real quickly, or everyone can clearly see that the one who masters the software game of their industry is the one that is going to be doing better, especially during tough times. So that being stated, what is digital transformation for smaller companies? We're going to be talking about collaboration tools, your customer relationship management, your CRM, integration tools. And I'm not talking about programming. These are no programming tools. Managed service providers and what they can do for you, and low-code types of development. Not no code, low code. So we have no code, we have low code. We'll get into a lot of these. So collaboration tools, what am I talking about? Microsoft Teams, Slack, Discord. There are many, many other collaboration tools. Now, for some of us are going to be saying, isn't that just messaging? No. Now, is messaging and talking to people in your office part of it? Yes, it is. But it is much more than that. Imagine taking a chatbot on your website that your customer is going to be coming into, and that's showing up as a message into certain people at certain times of the day through Teams or Slack or Discord. Suddenly not just messaging amongst your different people. You can integrate this with other tools. If you're a software company and you're having a message, you can put that into a ticket that's associated with a bug fix. You can have it integrated with your customer support. There's lots of ways to get your collaboration tools, not just talking to your teams and your people talking together, but talking to your customers and having it integrate within the different operations that you have. And if we're talking collaboration tools, keep in mind, this is the preferred communication amongst millennials and Gen Z. And if you're a company and you're thinking, I want to have digital transformation, and you just have a bunch of Gen X or boomers around there, you may want to think about what your company is going to be doing in 10 years. And you're going to need to employ some millennials, some Gen Z. This is an expectation if you're going to be hiring someone from that crowd. Collaboration tools. Now, CRM, let's move on to that, customer relationship management. When we say this, we're thinking, where am I keeping track of my customers, my contacts, my phone numbers? What emails have I sent to them? What's my task list of what to do? And that's absolutely part of your CRM. But imagine a CRM that integrates all of those things with your website and people that are visiting your website. HubSpot, and I'm not trying to sell HubSpot here. We don't do HubSpot work here, but I do know that it is a great tool. Not only will it build your website, it will have all the CRM pieces that you traditionally want. What's my to-do list? What's my contact? Who have I sent an email to? But it also integrates all the CRM activity with visitors on your website. So when you get a visitor on the website and they go into that chatbot or they say, contact me, that's automatically entered into your CRM. And now you can track them from prospect to customer. Now, HubSpot's not the only option. WordPress, Wix even, they all have tools, add-ins, plugins that you can use to turn your website into more of a CRM tool. There are costs with each one of these. You can go out and research them, but ultimately it becomes an issue of weighing the importance of merging your website to your customers. If this is important to you and people come to your website that are going to turn into customers, you need to think about website CRM integration, and there are plenty of tools built that do that already. So let's move into integration tools, and I'm talking about the no programming integration tools. And I'm going to start off talking about a tool named Zapier. Now, if you're looking at this, I got 50 different icons showing up on my screen right now. Odds are that one of these or multiple of these are being used inside your company in some shape or form. And if these are used in a silo by themselves and are not tapped into another one of these, you could be doing more. Zapier and some of the other tools like that or do it for you. Imagine that and here's some examples, that if you have a blog post that gets posted on your site, someone took the time to write that, automatically it gets distributed to all your social media channels. What if you got a notification or reminders about everything in Slack, going back to the collaboration tools? If you miss something during the day, you get a list of things the next morning of saying, here's what you missed last night or what you missed yesterday that you need to follow up on. Imagine that you are able to create a service ticket for your support team coming from a social media message, coming in from Twitter. Integration tools like Zapier allow you to do that. And we're talking about you do not need programming skills in order to take advantage of that. A person who can use an Excel function has the technical know-how and the technical ability to start creating integration points from Zapier. Now, Zapier is not the only thing out there that does this. There are a couple other products out there, Microsoft Power Automate, IFTTT, that stands for If This Then That, Trade.io, and there's no less than 50 other tools that show up on the Gartner quadrant on these. And using Zapier, because they are definitely the big kid on the block when it comes to all these, they integrate with over 2,000 software applications. Just a screen prior, I showed you 50 of them. There are 1,950 others, at least that can integrate with each other. What I am seeing from a lot of software companies, a few years ago, they used to do custom integrations from our software into Dynamics, into Salesforce, something else. What companies or software companies are now doing, as opposed to all these custom integrations, they're just building a series of Zapier APIs that can be used by non-programmers to integrate things into their other tools. And I'm thinking of a construction software company that does project management for construction. They have a Zapier endpoint where you can take things and put them into Excel. Basically, any piece of data that you have inside of their product can be moved into Excel just by using Zapier, however you want to do it. Integration tools, big thing. Let's move on to managed service providers. So if you have any of these at your company, servers in your office, you're paying to co-locate a server, or maybe you are paying a company to host a server for you, and you have some specific type of software that's running on that. If you have 5 or less IT employees, talking about PC admins, network administrators, security people, and if you employ any person on a W-2 that may have to touch a Windows update and make sure that gets done, there's a managed service provider that can save you money. Now, how do they do this? What are they going to do? For starters, they're probably going to be introducing you to some type of cloud solution. This could be AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. A lot of these many MSPs have their own private cloud that they can use and set you up on. But with all those things I just mentioned, an MSP can provide you better security, better performance, less hassles, less expense. Basically, if you match any of the things on the previous slide, you can get more, pay less using an MSP. There's a trend right now going on in the MSP world. And we have a few MSPs as clients. And what we are hearing all of them say is when we find a company that has 5 or fewer IT employees, we have a solution that can save them money. They're going to get more, pay less, be a lot happier, a lot more secure by moving to an MSP. Effectively, what's gone on with the MSP world is just what they can do on the cloud right now and how they're going about their customer service tickets. It's hard to beat. So low-code tools. What do I mean by that? Let's hypothetically say that you have an idea for a software application that would be used internally or perhaps internally combined with a certain set of customers. And you have none of those integration tools that I've talked about before, the Zapier, the IFTTT, Microsoft Power Automate, you have those already. But when you have those, you realize that the idea for your software is too much for the integration tools. They're good for a lot of things, but they won't cut the bill on this. And someone says, we should get a software developer and build this ourselves. Low-code tools may be the answer for you. So what low-code tools are we talking about? Just to name a few of them: Vendex, OutSystems, Salesforce Lightning. These allow a person to create applications, and it could be mobile, could be web, could be Windows based, with limited amount of code. I didn't say no code, low code. The example I would use of who could do this type of thing, I mentioned before with the integration tools, someone who could do an Excel function could probably work with an integration tool. Someone who could create an Excel macro could work with one of these low code tools. A good way I would describe a lot of these things and how they work. Several years ago, you had a lot of applications where you would have the wizards, especially from Microsoft, where it'd walk you through and ask you things that you wanted to put onto a screen. And when you hit done, it's all done for you. Low code tools that we have right now work kind of like that, but they do a lot more. They're a lot better what they have going on behind the scenes. They keep data a little bit better secured, and they can integrate with many more things. And they can get them working on your mobile apps and things like that. There's one company that we know of here in Houston, and they're a big company, and they have a software development team, and they're busy, and they're always writing and adding on to applications that they have. And there's this huge list of projects that people are requesting from the software development team that they're just never going to get to. I mean, there's a team of 20 people, and their list of things that they have from the customer base or the user base is 50. This is not going to happen anytime soon. So what they actually did is they hired a couple of people who are going to become the low code developers for all these business units, and they are just cranking out application after application and putting it out there for the user base to use. As one way how one company is doing this, they're not a small company, they're bigger, but there are a ton of low code tools out there that are really good and allow you to do a lot with a little. So wrapping up, we talked about digital transformation, focus on small companies. Hopefully I've been able to demystify what digital transformation means for a lot of these types of environments, and was able to provide some relatable examples for you and how you can improve what you're doing with your small company. If you want to find us online, go to deciconsulting.com, shoot me an email at info@deciconsulting.com. If you want to talk more about how we at Decide use some of the integration tools, I'm more than happy to talk to you about that because we use them quite a lot here. If you need a referral over to MSP in the Houston area, I can absolutely do that. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. Thanks a lot for your time. Talk to you soon.